In this video, we will make our first modeling, so it will be simple things with primitives, and it's just to help you to start to manipulate the object. So after we'll use other modeling techniques, but mostly it's very important to start with this, and yeah, like this you will be used to the shortcuts and the different manipulations that are used here. So I really recommend you to repeat these operations until you feel natural with this and you don't have to think about, yeah, what is this shortcut for this and this shortcut for that. The shortcuts that we will use here into these first chapters are very important for the rest of the training, because you will come back always to it during your Blender's journey. So let's go for that. Let's go for make a first modeling. First of all, we'll make something very simple. We will keep the cube here and we will make a table, okay? So let's go, and we will not think too much about, for now, we will not think too much about the size. We will just keep the object and try to make a shape for now, okay? So let's go and make an SZ like this, okay? And like this, we will scale along the Z-axis. We can go and see the values here, just like that, to see that I have 0.05. If you want, you just add the value here, it will make the same, okay? I will go into orthographic view like this. I will have a better view, and I will add another cube like that. So now I would like to make a scale into the y-axis and into the x-axis at once. So what I use the shift technique. So I make S, and I want to remove the z-axis into this, so I will make shift Z. And as shift Z, you can see that you have this kind of behavior. So it will be perfect to make a kind of pillar shape or foot shape for our table. Let's go for that. Perfect. So now we'll go on top view and into wireframe view with Z here. We have here the shape like that. So what we would like to do is to put it into this point, and this point. So what we will use, we could here use the snap here just like that and snap it to the grid. Like this, when we move it, we are sure that it will stay into the grid. When you want to duplicate an object, you use Shift D. Shift D will duplicate and move. So I did duplicate this part and move it like that. I will make the same with here, put it on each corner, just like that. And what we have is this kind of shape now. Into solid view, we have this. So what I would like to do is take all of these objects, so I can select with Shift key, Shift left click, and I will go in front view now. And with GZ, without this activated, I can move freely and go until I'm here. Maybe it's a little too tall. So what I will do, I will just go there and make a SZ now. Yeah, to have something like that. Simple table, very simple. Okay, and now if I deselect with Alt A to deselect everything, I will have now a table shape. Perfect. This table shape is composed of here 5 cubes here. So it's a multi-object. And to make it only one object, you have different possibilities. You can select here all the objects and make Ctrl J to join objects, and now you have only one object. But you don't have after the possibility to take, for example, this part of the table here and move it freely, because now everything is joined like that. So what I do usually when I model with multi-objects, I use the parenting option, and I will show you that. It's very easy to understand. So what I do, I put my object on the ground first. I go into front view, and with GZ, just like that, I will zoom in and try to put with GZ, to put my table here on the ground, okay? So the ground that is represented with in front view with the red here and the red sign, the red axis here, the x-axis, and inside view it will be the green axis. So I put it like that. Now I would like to add an object that will be invisible. And this object, it's a new object that we didn't see yet. It's an empty. The empty here, you have different shapes. You will not see it in the render view. It's only in the 3D view by default. And it's an object that you will use as a manipulator sometimes. Or yeah, it's just a non-existing object when you make a render. So it's invisible, but you have a shape that you can use and manipulate other objects with it. So that's what we will do. I will add a sphere to have something easy to grab. Into the options of the empty here, you have the possibility to change the size if needed, but it's not a scale. You can see that I didn't change the scale of the object. It's just the size of it by default. By default, this size, it's okay for me. Easy to grab, easy to select like that. And what I will do, I will select all of my objects with Shift and this one at last. And with this one at last, it will be yellow and the other are orange. It's the same here, orange here and yellow there. So now when I make Control P, I can parent the objects of the table into the empty. You can see that I have little lines that shows the relationship between the two. So now if I take the empty, I can move my table everywhere. And if I have a surface here that is here, for example, a little under like that, and I use the technique that I did show you to project the object into the surface, now it will work perfectly because it's the empty that project directly into the surface and the other object will follow because they are the children of this object, the parent object. So now all the objects of the table will always follow. If I make a scale, it will follow. If I make a rotation into the z-axis, it will follow as well. Okay, so very important to understand this parenting option. You can see that now they disappeared into this interface. Actually, no, not really, because if you open the empty, you will find back the cube inside, the cubes inside. So here we could rename everything, like for example this one, we call it the plate or whatever, and this the foot, the feet, and everything. What I do usually when I have multiple objects like this into one, I just rename the empty, and it's enough for us to understand what's happening. So I have the table here, and all the objects will follow. So very powerful way of make some modeling like that. So I will make RG to put it in the center, maybe remove this plane for now, and I will tell that this collection is the table. Good. And maybe with the same kind of techniques, maybe we could make a chair. Okay, so that's what we will do. We will disable this collection, create a new collection outside this one. Okay, and I will call it now chair. Good. What we can do actually, it's start from this modeling here and make another. And to do that, what we can do is just select everything, make Shift D like this. So we have another table. And what is good with this technique is that it keeps the relationships with the duplicated objects with the new objects like that. And now with M, we put it into the chair. Okay, so we can now start to model a chair. So we will just have to move maybe a little object and make maybe some different shapes, but honestly it will not be that difficult. So let's go for that, and maybe we can make everything more little. Okay, put it with GZ on the ground. Okay, good. Now I would like to make here the feet a little bigger, stronger, because here it's not strong enough to have someone on top of it. So what I will do, I will make S Shift Z, but you can see that it will make something that I don't want. And me, I want to use this with the individual origin. So if I make S Shift Z now, it will thick the objects like this. Okay, so this is good. I'm happy with it. Now I will make a reinforcement here by doing Shift D again, and into the side view I will make a rotation of it 90 degrees and put it there, around there. Okay, and with an S Shift Y I will make it less thick, just like this. Okay, and now in front view with Shift D X I will put it there. And now I have this kind of shape. Good, perfect. Now I will use here these two sticks and duplicate them with Shift D Z to put it there. Good. So now we begin to start to have a chair. What I could do is duplicate that one here and with Shift D and put it in the center with Alt G. Okay. And now with GY and R 90 degrees with the top view here, we can put it a little higher. Like this, we have another reinforcement here. So our chair start to have a chair shape, and now we will duplicate that one. Put it there. Make a rotation 90 degrees. Maybe make it a little less big like this. Okay. And maybe this 2 has to be higher, so I will make a GZ like this and a SZ like this. They will have this kind of shape. Okay, good. Now we have a chair shape. And now this one will not be a table, it will be a chair. And I can move that one and enable the first one here and move that one here with the y-axis and put it under the table, for example. Okay, so we have here the possibility to play a little with this object. Perfect. So we have a chair, we have a table. What could we do now? Maybe we could do a lamp, or yeah, something like a lamp. It's good. To make a lamp, let's add, first of all, we will make a round shape with a sphere. Okay, this sphere will be like this, it's okay. And maybe we can, into the side view, we can scale it into the z-axis to have a kind of shape like that. Perfect. We will grab it into the z-axis and add a collection here. This collection will be the lamp. Maybe the bedroom lamp or table lamp. Well, let's call it table lamp. Okay, perfect. Now we have this kind of shape. I would like to add maybe a cylinder, or no, maybe a cone. This cone will have this kind of shape to can put it in the table without falling. So yeah, we will make this shape and increase the second radius, decrease the depth to have a kind of shape like this, and we can with GZ just put that we need. Okay, we will have this kind of shape now. Perfect. Now we'll play with cylinders to add maybe the bulb and everything like that. So what we can do just with Shift A, add a bulb, add a cylinder, sorry. Okay, scale it down, GZ, scale it into the Z axis, scale it down again. Okay, so we have the start. We can duplicate that into the Z axis and scale it again, scale it into the z-axis again to have something like that. Okay, good. Just very simple shapes actually. And shift D again into the z-axis and scale it down again and scale it into the z-axis again. Okay, so we have this now. I will add the bulb itself, so it will be just a sphere. Just simple shapes. That, yeah, something like that. Perfect. Good. So now I would like to add here this shape on top of this. So I will add another cone. And this cone here will not have the shape that we had before. We will increase the depth, something like this maybe. Increase the radius 1 to have a shape like that. Good. And now we have something that is good. Maybe I will increase the number of vertices like 64 to have something beautiful. Perfect. I will remove the hang-ons and put nothing in there. Okay, so like this, I will have this kind of shape. Perfect. Now I need to make the link between this and this. So I can use very simple shapes again. What I will use first of all is a torus. Very thin. So what I will use is a minor radius, very little, like 0.01. As you can see, yeah, something like that. Increase the major radius. Something like here, okay, and put it into this location, maybe scale it a little that it's around like this. So we have this kind of shape like that. We can make exactly the same, increase add a torus, but this time the radius will be more like this size. So we will decrease the major radius to have something that will fit. We can increase the location Z directly here and play with the radius as well. Okay, with shift, and now we have this kind of shape. Good. Now we want to make the link between these two shapes here, maybe to something that will be here. So perfect. Maybe I will duplicate this with Z into the Z axis, put it near the bulb like that. Maybe scale it a little. And now we will just play with these shapes to link them together. Okay, so what you can do with that, maybe I will put it there, it might be good. What you could do with that is add a cylinder very thin again, so the cylinder like that. Maybe the depth will be the radius like 0.04 or even less, 0.02. Yeah, something like that, and even thinner, 0.01. Something like this, yeah, to have really little sticks. And now we'll manipulate this stick to play with it. So what we'll do, we'll make a rotation 90 degrees here, make a scale into the x-axis, and on top on the top view here and in wireframe view, we can see the distance between this and this first of all. So what we can do, we can play with gx and make sx to put the object into the right position like that. Okay, in front view now we have this. I can make a gz and a little rotation like this. And now I can play with the location of this stick. Scale it just a little and we have our shape. Okay, perfect. So what we will have, we will need, maybe it's 4 of them like this around there. So what we'll use a pivot point with the 3D cursor like this. If I make a rotation, it will turn around the cursor that is in the center. If you did move the cursor by mistake or something like that, you can play around with the values here, come back to location at 0, rotation at 0, or you make Shift C and it will come back with in the center. So now if I make a Shift D air 90, you can see that it will make a duplication with Shift D, air the rotation, and 90 degrees. And now you have this kind of shape. Perfect. So now we need to make the same, but join it to the center. Like for example, join it from here to here. So what we will do, we will make the same kind of stick, maybe duplicate it. Okay, Shift D into the x-axis. And in front view, we will manage the right orientation and shape. So we'll come back to a median point, a rotation, scale it down, put it there, scale it a little, maybe a rotation like this, to have this kind of shape. Huh? Perfect. And now we will make the join again. So we will come back with the 3D cursor, Shift D, air 90 degrees. When you made an operation like that, you can use Shift R to repeat the operation, and it goes quickly like this. So now we have this kind of shape, okay? And we can use the last one that will join on top as well. So what we will do in front view, we'll select that one, make a Shift D, Alt R to remove the rotations, make a SZ with the right pivot point, okay, and put it from here to there. So it will be just a scale and rotation. Just by choosing the right rotation and scale, we will have something like that. And again, we can duplicate this with the right rotation and 3D cursor pivot point here with Shift D, air 90 degrees, and Shift R, Shift R. Okay, good. So now we have our shape with the bulb. Okay, perfect. And after, yeah, some kind of operations like that might be quicker with edit view in edit mode, but yeah, just to show you that we can make it with object mode as well. Okay, so we have a lot of objects now, and to make something more easy to manage, what we will do now, we will just select all these objects, add it to an empty. So we choose a sphere like this. Good. Now we select all the objects. We'll make a Control P to set parent to the object. So we have the little lines, and now if I move this, everything will come out, and we can call it table lamp. What is good with that? What is good with that? It's that if you made something already, you can use it for another object. For example, we can make a big lamp. Okay, let's duplicate this collection and we will call it floor lamp. Perfect. So maybe we will duplicate all of that. So what we will do, we will just remove this. Sorry, I will just disable this one. I will just remove this, maybe take all of this, and in front view, put it on top like this. This one, we can remove this, maybe, and add another mesh. Again, it will be a cone, but with the right value. So what I will do, I will put hang-on here, and I would like to add a base to this lamp. this tall lamp here. So what I will do, I will just increase the radius to have something almost the same, and decrease the depth to have this kind of shape like this. Okay. Now I can go into location Z and put it there. And I want to fill it, so it's already filled. It's perfect. Now I can add another cylinder, and this cylinder will not have this value, so I will increase like 0.1 maybe, something like that. It's good. And increase the depth and the location. Okay, and try to find the right value here to have something that will fit to your need. Okay, here the depth I remove some, and now look, we have a big lamp like that. Okay, we just have to parent again there's two new objects into the empty that is here with Control P, set parent to object. Good. And now it's a floor lamp, this one. Perfect. So now we have these four objects that are already made. Now I can enable everything, and yeah, you can see that the lamps are very big. So maybe I will just put the lamp like this, GX, and this one scale it down with GX as well. And so everything is well organized here, and we have a chair, a lamp, a big lamp here, and a table. So I really recommend you to make these exercises. They seem not that complicated, but actually it will help you to start to manipulate objects and to start to use the shortcuts. Try to not use these tools here, to just use the shortcuts that I did use. I save you that into the source files. Like this, you can open the objects. You can open the file and see a little how these modeling are made. In the next video, we'll see how to use booleans